Hello knitters, Bailyn from Strand Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. And today I have a class. I have what's on my needles and off my needles and mindful knitting, so stay tuned. Is going to be on August 30th from 10 to 12. I'm moving it from 12 to 2 up to 10 to 12. And that's the sweater class. So the 30th from 10 to 12. Parking's easier. And so you've heard me talk about this all year actually. But we have a new sweater. Well, it's new up on a mannequin. It's actually been in the studio for a bit. Ella made a sweater out of the Cumulus. So Cumulus is this amazing, let me see, this is not the best color, but it might be somebody's perfect color, is a cotton. It's 100% cotton and it's very, very soft. She put this up on a bigger needle. That thing is like butter. It's amazing what that fabric feels like. So the rectangle sweater, this one has sleeves, but the rectangle sweater, this would be such an amazing option. So you're gonna be on a little bit bigger needles. I don't know exactly what needles she used, but the range is up to a 9. So she might have put it like on a 10 or 10.5 to get it to be a little bit more open and weave, which made the drape amazing. So, so that's another option for the sweater class. It's a really good option. And again, you don't have to, you can either do it with sleeves or without sleeves or shorter sleeves. This one's long sleeves, but it really is just the drop shoulder rectangle sweater and it's gorgeous. So come in and check that out. So the class is this Saturday from 10 to 12. Okay, off my needles, muscle burrow hat. So here it is. So here it is, all folded up as one of the sides. So that's it. It's really cute. It's easy. The hardest part is the beginning and the end, the very beginning, the very end. So the yarn did that all on its own. I'm using this down here, the Earth Heart yarn. We have 4 colorways that are striping. You could also do this out of Zauberball, which we have Zauberball, which would be really cute too. But both are fingering weight. You don't have to use fingering weight, but I'm using fingering weight. I was on a size 2.5 for this. So yeah, it takes a bit of time, but it's just, you're just knitting. So, and you're watching colors move. So it's actually pretty fun. So what this does though, is this is actually 2 hats in one. So this is what you actually knit, is this long tube and it's closed. So you start at one end, and this is the most fiddly part of the whole thing, is getting this started with 8 stitches. That's the most fiddly, but after a few rows, you're good. And then you knit, I think this is like supposed to be 19.5 inches. This is for an adult medium. And so this is like 19.5 inches. And then you have to close it up on the other side, right? So then one side you have, I think I had it this way. So one side you're gonna have, this is the top of your hat, and the other one, this is gonna be the top of your hat. Now, you could mess with this color-wise and make it more strategic. I just knitted, I didn't worry about it. But you could make this way more strategic where the orange is actually on the roll-up of one of them and on the top of the other one. So you can mess around with the color, you know, sort of edit your color if you want to. But you can also just knit it, and it is what it is. And then you just stuff one side up into the other, and there you go. And this one, I made this one big enough to fold. It's also trying to use up yarn, which you have, like, this is a medium. So, and then now I've got it folded. Isn't it great? So this is a medium, adult medium, and I had this much yarn, so there's plenty of yarn left over for an adult large. Plenty of yarn, but you're using up most of your yarn. And yeah, so that's muscle burrow. And I will be doing a class for this the end of September. Okay, so we got our Karen's yarn in, which is the one we do the market bag out of. It's a ribbon yarn. These are our 4 colors. And it's a fabulous bag yarn. So it's ribbon, so it's got more structure than just regular yarn does, even cotton yarn. This just has a little bit more structure, and just makes, and the colors are just like, you know, amazing. So that made up this bag right here, this market bag. And again, this is a super easy bag. The hardest part is, so you start with Like if you're going to do it with me and need help, you're going to start with knitting a square or a rectangle. This is the small bag. There's also a large one. So you're going to just knit back and forth however many times with how many stitches. So you're just making a square or a rectangle. The large one, you're doing more of a rectangle. Then you have to pick up stitches around. That's the hardest part. And you do a little bit of increasing on the corners. Not that hard. But then once you get into the actual slip stitch pattern, this is so much fun and moves really fast. And it's just a really great knit. I've got somebody doing multiples for Christmas presents. And yeah, so it's a great bag. We found this during COVID. And my knitter friends and I, we like knitted one and we're like, oh my God, that was the most fun thing we've done. And we bought more yarn and knitted more of them. So this is a great bag. You can come into any workshop if you need help. But we have the Karen's yarn in. That's the big thing. It's in, so you can make it like out of this. Okay, mindful knitting. So knitting actually has, because we are crossing your midline when you're knitting, you know, you're doing stuff that actually crosses your midline, that has an effect on your body, and it actually relaxes your body. And so actually knitting on something that you're just knitting, not something you're trying to learn or a pattern that you're, you know, trying to get or anything like that, but just knitting something that is brainless, you're not thinking about it, actually puts your body into a clinical state of relaxation. A clinical state of relaxation. Proven. Scientifically proven. So it is truly amazing, and most of us know, like if you knit a lot, you already know this, but now you know it's actually real. It's not just, oh, you know, it makes me relax, but it actually does relax your whole body. It can stop the thoughts from going. It can actually lower blood pressure, can actually lower your heart rates. It can do so many things. But you sort of need to be in your space and knit quietly. So I sort of suggest, I mean, you don't really, because you can be at an airport. Like the best place to knit is at an airport, because that is always stressful. And to sit down and knit at the airport and just like, you just go, phew, okay, I'm here. Whatever happens, it happens. And if it's late, okay, it's late. I can sit and knit. You know, it's amazing how it just takes away the stress of those things. Same with hospitals. You know, knitting in a hospital is also the same thing. Just sort of helps you calm down, especially if you're the one, you know, with somebody else in the hospital, obviously, and just calm things down a bit. Maybe not totally, but it does help calm things down a bit. But it has to be something you're really not thinking, or it's a pattern that's easy for you to keep track of. Like, you know, you're doing a checkerboard where you knit 4, purl 4, knit 4, purl 4, or something like that, or a rib stitch or whatever. So there can be something else going on, but you don't really have to think about it. You just sort of have to have one part of your brain sort of watching it to make sure you do, but the rest of you is relaxing. So it really works really, really well. So this is an amazing tool that you all have. If you're listening to me right now, you all have this tool, and it really, really does do what you think it's doing in your body when you're knitting and you're relaxed and you're just knitting. It really does all those things. So it's really a very good tool to have around. I always have, and to have something always going that's sort of that kind of knit. For me, it's socks, because the socks, I might do a rib sock, but I don't do massive pattern socks because they take concentration. But a lot of it is just, you're just knitting in the round. And so for me, that's easy to always have with me. And this is probably going to be my next one, because this is the same thing. So once you get this started, you're just knitting in the round for quite a long time. So this can easily become one of those kinds of knits. And this could be a fun one, because most of you don't knit socks. That's a me thing. Most of you don't do that I know of. Some of you do, but most of you don't like it. So, but this would be perfect. But also with like a shawl, also a baby blanket, a hot pad, dishcloths, you know, simple things, a scarf, a hat, you know, whatever works for you. That's what you could use. And it really, really does make a difference and can actually really affect your life. And especially when you're going through some really hard things, this really can get you calmed down so that you can like get yourself through whatever is happening. Okay, so use it as a tool that you have because it's a masterful tool and so easy. The thing you'll need to do is just so easy just to always have it sort of there, you know. So mindful knitting is a good thing. And that's it for today. And so come in, check out the Cumulus sweater because it's amazing. Come in and check out the Muscle Burl hat because it's fun. And I hope to see you in the studio real soon. Bye.